Hello and welcome everyone to our Facebook Live that has turned into a Zoom recording so that we can speak more clearly and get Christiana's light through more clearly. So Christiana, thank you for being here and welcome.
Sure, I'm very happy to be here too.
Okay.
After all this trial with YouTube, not YouTube, I'm sorry, with Facebook Live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's no problem. There are plenty of platforms to speak, so that's okay. So we were reconnecting further to you sharing your beautiful story and amazing and inspirational story. And we thought it would be a good idea to talk about the value of emotions and take it a step further. So before we dive into that, can you just give a quick, in a nutshell, who you are and what you do? And yeah.
Well, I want to link what I do now with the conversation we are having so that it makes sense.
Yeah.
The reason why I am a craniosacral, I started as a craniosacral therapist and emotional release therapist. And I did study in the USA with the doctor that, that I don't like to say invented the craniosacral therapy, but he was the first one to introduce this concept. And what happened is that I did start this kind of therapy because of my adventure with teletransportation of other dimensions, going and finding myself in other dimensions. And what happened at that time is that I didn't really know what was going on with me. And that's the point I would like to share with other people that may have had the same kind of experience, is that when something like that happened, that you are teletransported out of a trauma, as it did happen to me, to another dimension, and then you come back. And then when you come back, your physical body is the same, but your emotional body, your physiological body, your energy are not placed in the same place as before. And the feeling is very strange. At least it was for me. I don't think this is everybody's experience.
Yeah.
The
So
same thing. Yes, please.
yeah, I was going to say, can you just share that moment when you were the other side of your experience in this vibrational shift having happened?
Yeah.
What were you feeling at that precise moment?
In that moment, it's because we are talking about a car accident in which, the car hit me and I was out of my car in a fraction of a second, not even that. So I was already out of the car while the other car was hitting mine. Anyway, I wouldn't be alive. So in that moment, I don't really remember it. That's the point. It's like I was here in this, I'm here now, and then a fraction of a second, I'm not here anymore. You wouldn't see me anymore. I'm like next to you there. That would be funny, And then what happened is that the body is that's the moment in which my body kind of recreated itself. It was like, in order to enter another dimension, you have to enter an energy into the energy and a different frequency. And so it's almost like your body is not there any longer. You are just party cells.
Yeah.
Like a quantum field. You become parts of this energy. And then you have to gather your body together somewhere else. So your energy back.
Yeah.
I guess that if this is done consciously, it has a different effect on the body and on the anatomy and physiology of the body. But if it happens as it did happen to me, then it has a different effect. What happened is that from there on, I felt very different. I couldn't understand why, but I never felt the same person again.
Okay.
And that was really uncomfortable. Because watching at the mirror, I was myself, but internally, I never felt the same again. And that is almost like the energy came back, but in a different order. It's like my body wasn't the same internally. My energy frequency wasn't aligned. So fortunately, when I was in San Francisco, I met this craniosacral therapist. It was just in 91, 92, the other century. And and I started working on this, and I discovered that I had my organs placed different. The energy of my organs were placed differently, and so I had to really start working very deeply into my body to gain, to find a new place for my energy to calm down and find a new ground for myself. And that was a long work. So what I'm saying is that if anybody feels that way after a teletransportation out of trauma, then it's kind of normal, I guess. And there is not to worry, because there are ways to gain your energy and to put your energy back in a comfortable and easy way.
Yeah.
At least easier way. Because once you're able to name something and understand what the problem is, then it's easy to solve it.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you for sharing that, because that's, it's so inspirational for those who have had these experiences, don't dare talk about it, don't know where to go, don't know what to do. So have you got any steps you can share with people? Or how can we use our emotions in order to recreate ourselves in alignment with this new version of ourselves?
Well, the experience itself is an emotional experience. It's almost like your emotions are so strong in those moments when you change dimension and then you come back.
Okay.
So it is good to even go back to those emotions, so to bring them back into your body, because it's almost like part of you goes away and doesn't come back. That was also the feeling, is that when I came back into my body, I wasn't all together. It was just parts and bits of me were left out. It's like my liver was there, but the energy of my liver weren't all there. So I had to bring them back into my liver, and the liver is very important. And so the kidneys or other organs. So what happens is that there is an emotional trauma. And it's any other emotional trauma, you have to bring your parts back. And the body is very important, even in other kind of traumas. What happens is that our body gets even frozen, or our energy gets dispersed, and we feel that we lack something. So we are talking about, changing dimension or teletransportation, but we can talk about trauma as well. And so that's why it's so important to get in touch with these emotions and to really even go there where the lack is, or the lack of emotional, healthy feeling is. And it's very scary, because people may discover that there is something that they don't know. And that's what is scary for us. It's, oh God, what is going to happen now? So we don't want to know. We prefer to live the way we are instead of discovering something that can be very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But, as in my work and in your work, I guess, it's very, very, if you have someone that is able to help you to go into this uncomfortable place and guide you out of them, actually, it's a very, very beautiful experience, because it leaves you with a strength that you didn't have before. And that the strength is the courage to look inside and to recompose yourself, reprogram yourself in a different way. Let's use this language. So what I'm doing now, I'm working with Ashley Dur, that she's from Iceland, and she plays the gong, but she doesn't play the gong as usual, like a gong bath. She plays the gong using the body as a point of reference. And as I do in my craniosacral work, we joined our force together, and we are bringing people back into their bodies with a meditation on some parts of the body. I'm working on the heart and stem cells right now, meditation, with the help of the gong. And the gong is playing on the stem cells, is playing on the heart, to bring back this, to bring the people into these parts of their body and see what is really going on internally. And it's very, I wouldn't even say magical, but it's very deep. People come out of this experience with new insights, or even with some little pain and aches that they didn't know they had. And so from there we can work and see what's going on and reprogram and vision and, you know, and discover emotions that have been there and have been reproducing themselves, and that can be changed at that point. Because a lot of our emotional life is related to habit.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
And so if we have a bad habit of reproducing the same pattern, let's say irritation, you know, and then we don't want to be irritated. We don't like to be irritated, but then, you know, we find in our life creating these situations that are always irritating us. That's not happening out there. That's happening inside of us. So once we get to understand where we are irritated, what part of us is irritated, why, and what is linked to, and usually we go back to, you know, to the first years of our life and our family, of course, then we can really change it and reprogram and go deeper into that irritation, understand it, and, you know, transform it. And that's the work I'm doing more and more. And of course, it's related also to trauma, emotions that are related to traumas. And we were talking about teletransportation with traumas as it happened to me. And I had to change that feelings and create new ones. So it is all about discovering ourselves at the end of this. That's all I could say.
Yeah, well, yeah, thank you for sharing that. And, you know, I recall the experience of both of you together at the Galay event in Cannes in September. And for me, it was all to do with relaxing and surrendering to that present moment in order to raise our frequency and, yes, travel back in time perhaps and get in touch with these emotions that we had forgotten about or were not quite in touch with, in order to reprogram something. Yeah, so it was a beautiful experience. And I understand you're doing another workshop soon. Would you like to share about that?
Workshop in Iceland the last week of January 2020. And what I want to do, this is all an experiment, and I love experimenting. Okay. There is a point in which the bones come to a stop, and those moments, because the bones move. And so there is a moment in therapy, in a craniosacral therapy, when the therapist bring voluntary this bones movement to a stop. And what happens when the bones movement stops is that the body can reorganize itself in a different way. I mean, at a physical level. And so the thing that is happening is that we are bringing this stillness into the bones through our gongs meditation. I mean, and the gong and the meditation. And also what I am bringing more in this workshop is that I will teach people some techniques to work on each other, like in couples, so that they can bring maybe their dear ones, their children or their husbands or whatever, friends, to a stillness in their bones with this very easy technique that I will be teaching during the workshop. So that would be nice, because people would learn how to connect to each other differently also, and how to help each other with an easy technique. And it's so important to let the body be in the stillness and let the neurons to calm down and find new connections.
Yeah.
So if we can reprogram ourselves while in the stillness, then we can reach our subconscious much, much easier. That's the whole point.
It's all to do with relaxing, eliminating the stress, and from that space so much more is possible. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call them, sorry, eliminating, because you don't eliminate things in this work, but you do transform them. What I say is, like, when you go into the subconscious and you bring into the subconscious this new connection and also the new emotions you want to really feel, like love or joy, and you insert them into a subconscious, into a body that is still, then it is easier to create new patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So but I don't believe that we can really eliminate anything. I think we can be less stressed, but if we don't find out why we get so stressed, then the stress will rise up again.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's getting to that root cause in order for the
Yes,
physical
I do.
symptoms to disappear.
Yes,
Yeah, definitely.
yes.
Okay, so how can people get in touch with you who are interested in coming to your
Or they just go on my webpage, cristianadurante.com, and there is a page all dedicated to dreaming from emotion in Iceland, and they can read about it and see what it is about. I love to have these people. It's not for a big group of people because we will be working very closely, so it's only for 18 people. Yeah, very, very small amount. Yeah, because anyway, I wouldn't be able to really help personally everybody.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. Okay, well, thank you for sharing your light, your wisdom. Have you got any last words you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, I would thank you. Thank you for letting me share this. That's very nice and gentle and kind of you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, it's with pleasure. I think there's so much power in sharing our experiences, sharing what's worked for you, because there are so many people out there who are suffering through trauma and through, teleportation experience that people don't dare share, don't dare talk about, don't know how to deal with it. So when we have tools and people we can connect with to help them move forward, then the more we get into this movement, the easier it will become for everyone.
Yeah,
So thank you for sharing. Okay, so thank you to everyone for watching. I appreciate you joining, and I will post all the links so that you can get in touch with lovely Cristiana. And thank you once again, Cristiana, for being here, and I look forward to connecting very soon with all of you. Okay, take care and much love.